Good evening, mi gente. This is Ray Cleasa, the founder of the host of the Founding Translation Bomba Live Simulcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight is going to be a true Puerto Rican celebration. You just saw some of your favorite, and you're going to see many of them this evening, Instagram clips from our great friend Funky Bacalao and actually Jersey Rican as well. So you're going to see them and many more as part of this very special Boricua Social Media All-Star Edition. And you know, if you know about any Puerto Rican All-Star teams, you know they're very deep and got a lot of talent. Let's start with a great friend to the show, the co-host of Bomba Live and the co-executive producer of the Bomba Live Mega Show, Christina Vega. Christina, just in time, my friend.
Hey. How are you?
I'm doing really good. All the A-listers, the VIPs are waiting in the green room.
I think
and of course,
we're used to it.
The big baller shows up right when it's ready for showtime. Christina, how are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm sorry for my jumping right in. Had a little crazy evening, but I'm here and I'm always ready to go. I think at this point we're ready, right? We're used to all the A-listers. We're used to it with this Bomba Live thing.
No, we're VIPs, and at the end of the show, me and Christina have a very special announcement as it relates to Bomba Live. But let's get right to it because there's so many. I mean, I know all the fanandola is waiting. If you're watching this, you need to share with your friends, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Share it out with your friends. Look, we've had, even 2021 is cold. A lot of us are real cold, or someone in our family's not feeling good. There's a lot going on. Tonight is a night for laughs and to celebrate the talent in our community. So let's get right to it. The woman who is the creative mastermind, the inspiration for this episode, a great friend to the show, one of the great Latinas in Instagram, and and basically the unofficial social media ambassador for Bomba Live, Ivelisse Matos, a.k.a. the Funky Bacalao. What's up, Funky?
Hey. What's up, guys? Christina, I thought you were going to make it. Yo dije, ay, no. I'm doing fantastic. Bro, let me tell you something. I'm cold. Yo se supone que está en la playa y que Florida live y que hashtag beach life. No, look at this. What is this? That's so frío, Belú.
¿Qué es la temperatura hoy en Florida, where you're at? What's the?
I mean, Florida cold is not rest of the United States cold. So it's like, in the high 50s. Pero no, para nosotros eso frío.
Yeah.
We're all used to
get
that.
Your bomber jacket out. You might have to get your bomber jacket out. So Ivelisse, this was, you really were the inspiration for this. You were on our Christmas episode. We may get a chance to play some of those clips as well, the Parranda episode. And we really wanted to, we wanted to do it justice. Wow, this is just a little segment. And you were so gracious, not only say, you know what, it shouldn't just be about me coming back on the show. We got a whole group of Puerto Rican and Latino social media influencers. They deserve a little shine as well. So why don't you tell us what your concept was, and why don't you introduce our next All-Star?
Well, listen, Ray reached out to me and said, hey, Ivelisse, I want to get you on the show along with some of the folks that you collaborate with. So I'm like,
Thank you.
I know exactly who I need to reach out to. So the guests that we have tonight are my inspiration, the people that I love working with. One of them I haven't had the chance to actually work with one-on-one, collaborate on screen, but we've had the opportunity to talk off screen, and I think he's an amazing person, and I'm so excited to eventually work with him. But I think he's great. So the first person we're going to bring on is my boy, Jersey Rican. We've been making comedy for 3 years. And yesterday was his birthday.
That's right. Happy birthday, brother. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Very special time for you. So first of all, I need to, next time you're in Newark and we get over this COVID thing, bro, I gotta get an appointment for you. I need to shape up, no doubt about it. So why don't we start, Jersey, with you, man? What was your inspiration for getting involved in videos? You're a barber. You could be doing a lot of other things with yourself, but you really made a name for yourself in social media. So how did this Instagram journey begin for Jersey Rican?
Well, to be honest, the people that know me closely, personally, ellos saben que yo soy un payaso. I'm not the funniest, pero me gusta hacer la gente reír. I love seeing people smile, whether it's at me or with me. I don't care, So I was at a barbershop where I used to work in 2015, and one of my close friends, he goes, bro, why don't you make your Instagram public? Because back then it was private, and I only had 200 followers. I wasn't even doing videos at all. And he was like, why don't you start making videos because you're a pretty funny dude. And that was cuando, en esa época, 2015, el único que estaba conocido ya was LeJuan James. That was back in the day, kind of, sort of, and in terms of making videos. So I was like, okay. I started como estudiándolo, studying him, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to like copy him because you know how social media people are. Tú robaste esa idea de fulano. It's not even like that. When we all have
Yeah.
like this, we all have the same or similar like experiences. Like, who doesn't have a
Because we're
mom?
all Latinos.
Exactamente, pero ¿quién no tiene una mãe that complains to you? Mira, nene, te cociné algo, and then I'm not hungry. I already ate. She'll give you like the craziest look, like que o hasta un pescozón te da, pero you know. So
Yeah,
you know, there's only so much content that you could like do, but the thing is how you twist it. Okay.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So back then, I didn't really know the direction I wanted to go to, and I met this guy, which he's not trying to do like the whole content thing, pero en esa época, I felt like he was. His name is Popo Loco 973, also Boricua from Newark, like me. Super funny. So I started like me and him, we became friends. Matter of fact, in 2015 we became friends, and then he came down here in 2017, and he met me, my mom, y eso que yo otro. So I started noticing que él hacía video como fastidiando, bothering his mom, and I'm like, bro, I could do that with my mom. So that's how my followers started growing. I didn't do skits. I probably did like one in 2015, but I just didn't know how to go about it, and I didn't know anybody else that did it. I didn't know Funky, I didn't know anybody, so I'm like, it was me by myself. So empecé subiendo esos videos y la gente, oh my God, my mom is just like that. I could relate to that. And it was like natural. Like I would be like, okay, how can I bother my mom? And I already had my finger on the record button ready to shoot. And my mom doesn't curse, porque ella va a la iglesia, pero she gets heated, you know what I'm saying? Entonces, empezaba a grabar ahí, ma, mira, canto, yo no sé qué, vas a sacar. And then, as the time progressed, she liked the camera. She became
Of
a
course.
known character on my page. Dije,
Yeah.
La Madre. I gave her the name,
La
dije, La
madre.
Madre. I don't know how it happened. Y la gente, like, whenever I don't post her, la gente dice, mira, y La Madre, where she's at? Like, we miss it. I'm like, ma, you should make your own page. No, yo no estoy para eso. Ma, you should make your own page. So whatever. Fast forward to like 2018, and that's when I guess started taking it more serious. Funky reached out to me. When she reached out to me, I probably had like I don't know, a few good skits because yo tenía un personaje which I haven't done in a while. I think I should bring her back. I would dress up like a mom, con peluca y todo, like La Juan James used to do.
Yeah.
Whatever, and it'll be just
He was
me.
cute. He was cute.
You know, it would be just me as the mom and me as myself. So like my brother at the time would be the one like filming it, and that's also how I help my fan base or followers grow, whatever. And she reached out to me, and I remember como si fuese ayer, dude, let's meet up, let's talk, let's work. And desde ese día, we've been like inseparable. And la gente al principio, they were, oh my God, who is she?
They've
She's
all
so
thought we
dope.
dated.
Bro,
Yeah.
porque cuando ella empezó, I think that's when you first started too, right? 2018, por ahí,
Yep.
¿verdad? Bro, era ella y yo nada más. That's it, pam, pam, pam. And ¿sabes cómo son la gente? Los chismosos, los bonchinchosos.
Yeah.
Is that your girl? Oh my God, you guys look good. I'm like, nah, she's like my sister, bro. Are you serious? You sure? ¿Estás seguro? O sea, la gente como,
That's what they all say.
That's
sí, entonces whenever they want to see me at her page, pasaba lo mismo que con la madre mía. Oye, y Jersey, where's he? Oh no, he's there. Or ¿dónde está Funky? Like, bro, I don't live with her. I don't know. Like, en-
We just do
entonces,
videos together.
Yep.
exactamente. Y ella acaba de decir los otros días, bro, I noticed that we never chill. We just get together and do videos. And I'm like, dude, we gotta chill. So, because
Yeah.
sometimes it feels good to chill normal without working. You know, like this is at the end of the day, esto es un trabajo. Even though we don't
Absolutely.
get paid,
It is.
you know what I'm saying? We don't get paid, pero es una forma de arte, like, para hacerlo a todos ustedes reírse y esto, aquello, otro, you know what I'm saying? Y la gente creen que porque es un video chistoso que es easy to make. And sometimes we drop blanks. It's not easy. It's not
Woo!
easy.
Let me tell you something. Jersey Rican and I have a record. The longest video that took us to film and edit and put together took 11 hours. A
11 hours.
1 minute video. We shot it for like 6 hours, 7 hours, right, David?
¿Cuál fue ese? El de
The Christmas video with the doll.
Elf on the Shelf.
So
No, pero
listen. I want to know from both of you because esto es social media, ¿verdad? You know, you get on social media, es como trabajo. Do you see yourselves going to the big screen? Is that something that you're like looking forward to, or is this something
That's the
para pasar
goal.
el tiempo?
No,
Neta.
that's no. Listen, I'm gonna speak for myself. My dream has always been to be the bad role, the villain in a novela, la
Oh,
mala, the
okay.
one
La,
everybody hates,
la
la
Cruella de
diabla.
Vil. La
That's my
Cruella de
dream
Vil.
right there.
So this isn't just for social media. You're like
No,
building your
no,
following
no.
ahora como una boricua, but you're looking forward to like really being out there, huh?
Absolutely. I'm waiting for my blessings to come, patiently waiting.
Well, they come at the right time when we're talking to Funky Bacalao and Jersey Rican. Let me ask y'all a question. So when y'all get together, talk to us about the process of how you decide what the video is going to be. Because now you're talking about more than one person. You're talking about almost a script, or how do you sit down and collaborate? Do you come with your own ideas? Do you write stuff down? Tell us about your process.
Bueno, al
Eh,
principio, no, dale tú, dale tú.
No, dale tú, David. I want to see what you're gonna say.
Bueno, al principio, cuando estamos haciendo los skits, you know, like acting or whatever, like, yo por lo normal, yo no escribo nada. If I get an idea, I'll just save it on my phone as, por ejemplo, el toilet, no sé. And I already got the concept in my head. And I go to her, mira, esto es lo que vamos a hacer, esto, ¿qué tú crees? Okay, cool. And we just like, como se dice, we wing it right there and then. Like, there's some friends that we know that they actually like write a script. Y yo no tengo tiempo para eso. Me, honestly. Entonces hay otras veces que si se forma un grupito, pues we might have a script because it gets complicated because there's more than one person, you know? Pero ahora hoy en día, then TikTok came out, so TikTok makes it a little bit easier. You're just basically lip syncing. But that's because it's just lip syncing doesn't mean that it's that easy. If you know you got simple TikTokers, and you got us that we take it to the mouth. We actually like act it out, you know, so que, and that's how we
Yeah.
like doing it, you know. But most of the time, si yo no tengo nada, she has the ideas, and we just wing it at the same time, and yeah.
So, but Funky, this involves like a lot of people. Like, how do y'all organize your friends? I mean, you have to really think this through because, I've seen y'all videos where you got 6, 7 people involved that are doing some
Right. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of behind the scenes work that people probably don't realize. So it's either one of two ways. We actually have group chats in which we're like, hey, who's down to film? So that group chat has anywhere from 15 to 20 people. So whoever can, and usually the film house is my house. So a lot of these people's videos have the same couch, the same kitchen, the same everything, because my house is like the film house. So, I can have anywhere from just one person to 11, 12, 13 people. And so it's a beautiful energy environment to be around because of very creative space. So like in the kitchen, you have 5 people filming, you have 5 people out in the street, you have 3 in the sala, 2 in my bed. Like, and it gets hectic, it gets crazy, but it's beautiful to be surrounded by like-minded people that want to get ahead, that although we're not, monetarily benefiting, we're all growing from each other, picking up from each other's energy. No, it's a beautiful thing. And again, maybe like, for example, I just hit up David and I was going to hit up David. David, I'm going to hit you up right now. We got to do a Valentine's Day skit. And that's how we live. Just like that. We got to do a Valentine's Day skit.
I mean, we couldn't have Valentine's Day without that skit. We're talking to Jersey Rican and Funky Bacalao, 2 of the great Boricuas on Instagram and the social media on TikTok. And they've done a lot of collaborations, but we're going to watch a video, which especially a lot of our Dominicanos are going to enjoy. So let's watch this video, and then we're going to introduce our next all-star.
Dígame, vecino.
Hola, vecina, ¿me puede mover el cajo ese? ¿Y de qué usted sigue?
Como ustedes los puertorriqueños mencionan la R.
¿Es que ustedes hablan con la I esa? ¿De qué tú hablas, ah?
Nosotros somos los originales del arroz con gandules.
Ni siquiera se dice gandule, es guandule.
Gandules.
Eso tiene que ser evitado.
Y además, nosotros hemos ganado más series de Caribe en la pelota.
¿Y de dónde ustedes sacaron esa información?
Oh yeah? But you Dominicans don't know how to speak English.
Dije que no sabemos inglés.
Your fucking mother.
Ahora tú hablas español.
Funky, that one hurt because I almost like kind of took that little personal. You know what I'm saying? That little zinger at the end, girl.
Ay, mira,
We got so much love and so much hate from that video because the Puerto Ricans were like, how you gonna do us dirty like that? What you mean we don't speak Spanish? I'm like, what, do you speak Spanish? They're like, no, pero that's not the point.
No, that hit a lot. You know, it's funny because in 60 seconds, you guys, there's like 3 or 4 like cultural things you hit on that.
Yeah. Put together some facts.
Y ese video fue uno de los videos que nos dio problemas because we were trying to come up with, okay, what do Dominicans do versus what we do? It was, ask her, how long did we take to talk before we actually
It took about 2 to 3 hours just to come up with those simple 3-on-3 ideas. I'm telling you.
Y otra cosa, we wanted to win, but you know, we let them win porque empezamos a llorar behind the scenes, so whatever.
That is what really happened. I had a real hardcore punchline, but they were like, no, you can't do that. That's brutal. I was like, you know what? We're American citizens at the end of the day, that you can win.
Te lo doy.
Yeah, I thought that was appropriate way to do it. Y'all were like the home team, you know what I'm saying? So
and that's like the typical thing when you look at videos. It's Puerto Ricans against Dominicans and Cubans against Puerto Ricans. So that was awesome. That was good.
But why is everybody always beefing with us? ¿Qué es lo que pasa aquí?
Well, you know, we're on top. You know what I mean? Biggie said it best.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Anyway, very appropriate that y'all get into that because our next guest has some thoughts on this subject. The Papi Chulo of TikTok. All the ladies are so happy that our main man Dean Huertas is in the house. What's up, dog?
Yeah, I'm blushing a little bit.
Mira, let me tell you something. Let me take a
it must be so nice to meet you, brother.
It switched up, and I was like,
it must be so nice to meet you. Dean Huertas, welcome to the show, brother. It's such a blessing to you be part of our crew here. Dean,
I appreciate it.
I mean, you have I think you have 800,000 last time I checked TikTok followers, brother. That's like 10% of every Puerto Rican in the world is following you. That's pretty incredible. I don't think Mark Anthony has that many people following him. Dean, talk to us about this journey, brother, in TikTok. I mean, where did this journey begin for you, my man?
Oh boy. When I started TikTok, it was once called Musically before. That was back in 2015. Now I was just playing around, just fooling around, just seeing what this app was about. And I loved lip syncing. I loved just doing like random videos, whether it was like a pop song or it was an old 70s song back then. I would always be like, it's raining, man, like random songs just for giggles, just to, I don't know, just get crazy with it. And as time went on, like the followers just started going up. I was just like, oh, wait, what's going on here? You know? And there was a time where I took a break for a while because I was in college and I was just getting my degree in hospitality. And then after I graduated, I got back on the app and it wasn't Musically anymore. It ended up being TikTok, but it was still the same account with the same views, same followers, and like the same information there. So, and I just kept at it for a while. And then when quarantine hit and then TikTok just exploded, everybody just doing their thing. And then they saw my Puerto Rican content from like 2016, 2015, and some Puerto Rican content that I do now. It just kept going from like bada bing, bada boom. So
I think this pandemic also has allowed more people to attach themselves to TikTok because my daughter was on Musically back then. And then she got on TikTok during the pandemic and it was like, your mom is on there, your teacher's on there, everybody was on there.
I honestly, the progress has been tremendous. I was there for when it first started and I just there for the change and it just blew up from there. I was just like, wow. I was this close to almost deleting my account too. I was just about to erase it all, like let it all go behind. And then this happened with the pandemic. I was just like, whoa.
What else am I gonna do?
So, Dean, tell us about your process. I mean, do you write this stuff out? Do you act it out? Do you pantomime it? Tell us about your TikTok process making these videos.
When it comes to the videos, I really have to sit down and think about something that I can relate to more. That I feel like that always like is very passionate to me, and like or something that I feel like everybody can relate on. So whether it's PR versus DR beef, which by the way, Funky, that video, that's how I first saw you. From that video. So I was like, I want to meet them. I'm going to meet them. I kept saying that before the pandemic. I was like, I'm going to meet them someday. I'm going to meet them. And I got to meet you. I got to meet David. So I'm very blessed with that. So you guys were my biggest inspiration to keep going from there. Not just with my personal professional content, with the comedy side too, because I feel like that representation among us in the Puerto Rican community. Like that's what we need, you know. Like I love the fact that you guys like go the extra mile, put the extra hard work in to represent us as we is on the social media platform that we deserve, you know. So shout out to y'all, because y'all were my biggest inspirations since that video. But I remember there was one video before that too. I don't remember off the top of my head, but even then, like that video too, I was just like, yo, I'm gonna meet them someday. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna meet them. So
and you know, look at you enlightening people,
huh?
I said, look at you just enlightening people.
But let me tell you what I was just getting ready to tell you is that it's funny because he felt that way, and I feel the exact same way about him. Watching Dean's account it's something. It's like next level, and it's not to sit here like, you know, toot his horn too much, but there's a perfect balance between comedy and educating people. I absolutely. My favorite part about Dean's page is when somebody goes in the comments and says something that's completely false, completely misinformed, completely like people just talking caca. He takes the comment and makes a whole video to disprove that person, whatever crazy shenanigans they said. And, you know, like me, like my page, you know, it's very Puerto Rican based, but he takes it to like a very foundational, like, hey, people, you need to learn your roots. You know, let's take it back. Let's take it back beyond just waving a flag. Let's learn Taino. Let's learn about it. It's fantastic. I would urge anybody in Puerto Rican that's not following him to follow him, even if it's just to learn a thing or two. I love Dean. I'm low-key obsessed.
I love you. I love you too.
I think that's how social media has played such a huge role for all of us. Like, no matter what it is, because I think, and honestly, I bring everything back to the pandemic, because I feel like with this pandemic, it gave us like, not that we weren't already killing it, because we got Boricuas in Hollywood, but I'm saying like this pandemic has allowed people like the three of you, myself, Ralph, to get on here, and people are home, no tienen nada más que hacer, right? So they're tuning in, and now they're like, damn, she's cool, and I didn't know that about Boricuas, and I didn't know that. So it's giving us the platform we need. So kudos to all three of you, because you're all killing it. I've watched all of your pages.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Dean, jump in. You know, it's funny because when Funky was telling me all about, oh, he's on TikTok, he's amazing. I'm like, all right, another Papi Chulo, pretty boy guy. Okay. So I'm checking out. I'm like, my man is more political than me. And that's what I do for a living. So, tell us a little bit about, for people who don't know your content, you know, tell us a little bit about the messages about the Puerto Rican community you like to share on TikTok and on social media.
It was more of me just having to go through my own struggles of my own, actually, in New York, just not getting a full, solid, like, clear idea of who I was, of where I come from, like, because I had, like, you know, some struggles going up with non-Puerto Rican communities. Like, folks would tell me back then, like, go back to where you come from, go, like, you don't belong here. And then I go to Puerto Rico sometimes, and there's just like, oh, you're from New York, tú eres New Yorican, tú no eres de aquí. And I'm just like, so where am I? Where do I fit in? So that it was like from there forth, I was like, I'm gonna learn about why I'm here, how we got here, and I'm going to continue to defend for people that don't have the tools to defend themselves, and for and educate on people that don't know both sides. Because being New Yorican, as what I am 100%, also being of Puerto Rican heritage, learning about where I come from, like, both play a tremendous part in creating who I am. And I felt like the education, the tools that I had to like dig through books and social like websites overall, just to find the history and see it all. And I felt like that education, that platform needs to be shown amongst everybody. It needs to be shown, like, for people who didn't know that, like, why we waved the flag so hard, why Puerto Ricans came to New York.
What were the circumstances where the flag was developed? That's a whole
exactly.
Involves Cuba, and there's a lot of interesting political history there.
Oh yeah. So
no doubt about it.
It's like Cuba, especially for my Cuban brothers and sisters. I love them to death. They held it down for us from the beginning of like creating the flag with us. You know.
That's right.
So I feel when it comes to the education part behind that of just Puerto Rican history, that's not really taught in the American history system. That's where I just feel, well, if they're not going to do it, then I'm going to do it. You know, like I'll do it my way. I'll do it to feel like I can do it on a relatable platform where people can listen and actually enjoy what they listen to. Because sometimes people will tune out after like 15 seconds of a video, or just, you know, just like, scroll on to the next. But I want to make sure that this is who I am, this is what I represent, you know?
I tell you something, like, and we're This is Ray Collazo Bomba Live, virtual Puerto Rican celebration. You couldn't have a celebration without our great social media stars, what I call the Boricua social media all-stars. It's like the Fania. Everyone is coming out is even another celebrity, another A-lister, another legend. We're talking to Dean Huerta. You got to check him out on TikTok and on Instagram and on social media. Funky Bacalao, we're so blessed to have her helping us host the show with my co-host and co-executive producer of Bomba Live, Christina Vega, and Jersey Ricans drop some jewels as well. And we're going to have him back on the show in a second. Speaking of education, before we get into the new segment of the show, we're going to introduce the other two heavy hitters that have joined us in the green room in a second. But we have another group of Puerto Rican YouTube sensations, Los Chiquitos. It's past their bedtime. Gadiel y Axel from Puerto Rico that have sent us their newest video. So we're going to exclusively watch, and it's about Puerto Rican education. So we're going to watch this video, and I'm going to bring back Christina to do as a quick news update, and then we'll bring on the rest of the Boricua social media all-stars on this really fun edition of Bomba Live.
Bienvenido a la clase de español Boricua, parte 2. Mira tú, no seas caripelao.
Ok, cógelo suave que te va a dar un patatú.
Primera lección. En Puerto Rico no decimos wow, decimos a rayo.
A rayo.
También decimos diache o qué brutal. Próxima palabra, algarete.
Algarete.
Utilicémosla en una oración. El gobierno está al garete.
Ese profe está al garete.
¿Qué tú dijiste?
No, nada, profe, mala mía.
Exacto. Tú no eres guapito. Próxima palabra, ay bendito.
¿Qué significa eso?
No sé, pero se tiene que decir por lo menos 100 veces al día. Ahora viene el bono. Completa esta famosa palabra boricua.
Say what? Profe, yo no puedo decir esa palabra, yo soy un niño.
Pues tiene F.
Ay, bendito. Este profe está tostado.
I tell you what, let's get my coworker back here. Christina,
Oh my God, I love that.
Okay, Gadiel y Axel, those are my young boys right there. Literally, our young
I'm
boys.
watching it and I'm in the background like, what?
No, they kill it. They kill it. Un saludo, Shirley Santos, who, of course, is the Bomba Live producer for Puerto Rico Entertainers. She's the one that got us that little scoop. So thank you, Shirley, for getting us that exclusive video, sneak peek. Gadiel y Axel, they're tremendous. Un saludo bien fuerte, Don Jesus, their dad Jesus. What a great dad that guy is. Teaching them kids the real deal. Christina, I know you're having a lot of fun. Before we bring on our other A-listers, I mean, so we got some heavy hitters coming up in the green room. We're going to get them on in a second, but we wanted to go through a couple of news headlines. So, Christina, let's go over a couple of news headlines, then we'll bring on back our very special guest.
Absolutely, Ray. You know, we couldn't start this week's news segment without playing a clip of Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. My daughter will kill me if I say her name wrong. We're going to talk about her reliving her experience during the attempt at the nation's capital on January 6th. This clip not only explains what is at stake for our country politically, but what it's experienced and triggered from many of our Americans.
And I haven't told many people that in my life. But when we go through trauma compounds on each other. And so whether you had a negligent or, a neglectful parent, or whether you had someone who was verbally abusive to you, whether you are a survivor of abuse, whether you experience any sort of trauma in your life, small to large, these episodes can compound on one another.
Absolutely.
Christina, so let me give the political part of this scenario, which is what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is referring to, with the fact that Republicans in Congress and in the political world are basically trying to downplay what took place January 6th.
Absolutely.
What's done is done. Or those some
let it go.
Let it go. Why we got to convict Trump? Why we have to convict, try to get rid of crazy members of Congress that basically have threatened people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Right.
And we're part of stoking this mob that could have potentially, God forbid, hurt her or killed her.
Yeah.
And other, especially other women of color that are in Congress and are in the Capitol that day. And so not only is she giving us the political reality, which is we can't let this go. Because let me tell you something, I get too many parking tickets, I go to prison. We cannot let this go. We either have a society where there's some level of equality around justice, or we don't. Or it's about South Africa and white people can do whatever they want. So this is really the heart of what this conversation is about politically.
Yeah.
But then personally, what she's talking about is the fact that these kind of extreme events conjures up trauma with so many people. Christina, of course, we'd never go a show without giving a shout out to your campaign, Love Shouldn't Hurt, which supports survivors of domestic violence,
absolutely,
particularly in the Latino community. And I know that moment resonates with you because you have so many women and people that you work with that when these kind of traumatic events happen, not only the event itself, but it triggers what may have happened to them in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched that entire clip, and I think that the entire clip was about, 59 minutes, something like that. I watched it, and I actually watched it with my daughter because she's a devout follower of AOC. So she loves her. And it's just an absolute reminder to myself and everyone else that she spoke openly and honestly, and it's the truth. You know, when someone has suffered so much trauma, whether it's sexual abuse, domestic violence, any sort of trauma, that's something that you carry with you through your entire life, just like with domestic violence. And even, listen, I'm open on all of my shows because I'm super transparent. I was a child who experienced sexual abuse when I was a kid. And that's not something that you let go of. You know, there's things that trigger you, and, you know, gunshots or even firecrackers sometimes scare me. I jump easily. People frighten me if they catch me in a corner on my own, or even my daughter, if she comes into the room and I don't know where she's coming. I watched the video and I saw how she expressed herself about how she felt when that officer was standing outside of her office in the Capitol building and he kept saying, "Where is she? Where is she?" That trauma that was in her mind because he didn't even say who he was or what he was there for before she could even open the door and know that it was him. You experience that sort of trauma. Episodes like that are going to terrify you because you don't know if that person is there to hurt you, whether it's physically, with a gun, no matter what it is. So I definitely felt it. I was in the car and I literally had to stop the car and pull over just to watch it because it resonated so clearly with myself.
No,
so absolutely.
You know, there's so many, and I encourage people to leave. You don't have an hour, but at least watch a good significant portion of it, because not only the piece you're talking about, Christina, but, you know, we think, wow, these people in Congress go security, but at one point, that security officer basically go that way, and she was on her own.
Yeah,
and thank
no
God
protection.
That
she
Congresswoman
said,
Katie
she said
Porter
they were
was
like
in her
Dunkin'
office.
Donuts. She said she felt like they were in Dunkin' Donuts in the basement, nowhere to go, just standing there.
Yeah, no, and it's funny. I've been in all those hallways, you know, with the lobbying, and you know, thank God Congresswoman Porter was in her office, and she could hide with her, and thank God they didn't get to them, either one of them. So let's get to the next headline. Then, but you know, AOC, very interesting that it, you know, all these Republicans and all these high class people don't have the courage to stand up to Trump, not even in office anymore. You can't even hear from him anymore. He's blocked by all social media.
Yeah.
But a young woman like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez that gets so much hate in the media and in the sphere, and Lisa gets threatened, she still has the courage to stand up. So kudos to her and the young women in our community.
Absolutely. In other news, Ray, Miguel Cardona, President Joe Biden's nominee for Education Secretary, and she's a proud Boricua, is expected to be confirmed by the Senate in the coming days. The current Connecticut Education Secretary plans to aggressively advocate for resources schools need to reopen during the pandemic.
Yes, no, Miguel Cardona, really excited about it. And, you know, the things we need him to advocate for, I mean, there's a lot of things, right? And I want to get from an educator, I want to get your perspective. But the things we're going to be pushing is, first of all, you know, whatever we can do, resources to get to these schools so that teachers and students and families feel comfortable with kids going back. Because we know, as well as people are trying, it's not the same. The kids need that interaction, and
they do.
You know, the parents need a break so we can do some things as well, including going to work. And a lot of women have had to choose not to go to work to take care of kids. So that's really hurting the women's unemployment rate.
Right.
And the other part is that, you know, there's resources that we need to not only cancel the student debt and give this next generation a break, but more resources for English learners. So that's one of the things we're going to look to his leadership. We need more money for English learners, particularly those that come from Puerto Rico that are now in the States, all scattered all over the country. And the Puerto Rico education system needs equity. Definitely. So that's something we're going to be monitoring. As an educator yourself, Christina, what are you looking for Secretary Cardona's leadership in this administration?
Well, I think you hit it on the nose there. I think right now, a lot of our kids, because I have a teenager at home who's actually suffering through this pandemic, and her depression and anxiety deepened because she's home. So I think the first thing that all of us are looking forward to, not only as a parent, but as an educator, for myself, who would have to go back physically in the building and be in contact with these students, number one is safety. I think, you know, the Philadelphia School District has already started to discuss their measures of how they're going to send us back into the school buildings. And not everyone is happy about it. You know, just putting fans in the window is not something that we're looking forward to. So I think that's something that the parents are going to major be looking for in him. especially because, you know, he has some high footsteps to follow behind. I mean, Pedro Rivera was an amazing Secretary of Education, and I'm proud because he's like family to me.
In Pennsylvania, Pedro could have
That's
got
right,
that.
Pedro. He's
Very equal.
he's
You know,
like my
President
big brother, you know, he's like family.
Yeah.
So he has some big, huge shoes to follow. But I think that the biggest thing that all of us as educators and even as parents is the number one thing we're looking for is safety. Knowing that when our kids go back, they're going to go into schools that have a great ventilation system, that they're not just using fans, you know, that we're going to feel like when we go in there, there's going to be enough precautions for us to say the students are safe and we as educators are safe, because that's the scariest part right now.
That's an excellent point. I'm going to bring the homies back for this last clip. I'm going to see if my man Jersey Rican and Dean Huerta sit down with this kind of stuff. So the biggest music star in the world, of course, another Puerto Rican, Bad Bunny. But Sunday, he made waves in a whole other dynamic situation. So I'm going to see what y'all know about this. And I want to get Jersey Rican and Dean Huerta's comments on it. Oh, well, unfortunately, we're having just a little technical difficulty there. But anyway, that was Bad Bunny coming off the top rope. Do you have any thoughts on that, Jersey Rican? That was quite a performance on my man's part Sunday night. That road run.
No, eso, mira, pero mira la camiseta que yo tengo, mira, del Macho Man.
That was my man back in the days. Unless he fought Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior was my main man, but
look,
Macho was the man.
Mira lo que yo tengo aquí, espérate, mira. The Ultimate Warrior ahí.
Man, look at that. Oh, I hit a nerve with Jersey Rican. So when you saw Bad Bunny on the top rope, dog, what were you thinking?
Yo dije, to me, it was a proud moment for Latinos. I mean, you know, there's Latinos in wrestling, empezando con los mexicanos, pero que me sentía bien orgulloso siendo of Puerto Rican descent because, bro, like, tanta vaina que la gente habla de Bad Bunny, but he's doing his thing. He's living his dream. He's living his dream as a musician. And, bro, as a wrestling fan, every one of us would love to be in a ring. And he did that, even if it was for like a minute. Just how lucky.
And I want to shout out, our homie Joy Beto, who pointed out to me, he said, you know, said the guy that threw the two guys out for Bad Bunny to set that up is also Puerto Rican. Damian
Priest. Yeah, he's from New York. He's
Puerto Rican. Yeah, so we got to get him involved in our situation. So look, shout out to Bad Bunny. We got 2 A-listers. I'm going to get the guys back in the green room for a second. Bring Funky back with us.
Ooh. I'm excited. I don't know about you. I'm excited, but I follow one of the next guests, and I get excited when she cooks because she has all that energy and she is amazing. So we want to welcome Omi, Cooking con Omi, and Eva Lisa to the show. Hi, guys. How are you, ladies?
Eva Lisa's ready for action. Buenas noches. Buenas noches, mujeres. What's going on?
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Let me tell you, Ivelisa, que hoy yo prendí mi teléfono a buscar sus videos, and I was like, wow. She's like, I'm going to tell you in your face what it is. I love it. I love it. And Omi, I love watching you. Girl, you got lots of energy.
Listen, eléctrica a cada rato.
That's right.
Y Belisa y yo tenemos la misma electricidad. You just keep going.
No, pero a mí no me gana nadie. A mí no me gana. Mira, yo no sabía que yo venía ahora y me estaba acomodando la camisa y me tenía que hacer un nudo y ahí mismo dijeron, por ahí viene Belisa.
And you were like,
la camisa está poquita. Ay, Dios mío.
That's okay. Mira, estamos en vivo, eso pasa.
No, fíjate, a mí no me importa, lo de menos.
So, mujeres, how did you get into making your videos? How did you get into it? Evelisa, you can go first because I want to ask Omi a different sort of question around the same topic.
Okay. ¿Cuál fue la pregunta, Cristina?
What made you begin doing videos? ¿Cuándo tú empezaste? ¿Qué te dio el ánimo para empezar?
Pues mira, honestamente, yo empecé como empezó todo el mundo aquí con el TikTok y imitando acentos y no sé qué. Entonces, cuando yo veía el TikTok, que yo vi que hay gente que estaba poniendo comida, y yo, espérate, pues déjame tirarme aquí un mofongo con camarones, porque para ese tiempo estaban como que poniendo las cosas de su país. Y yo, déjame yo someterla aquí al guachi mío, ¿qué pasó? Mira, y me puse ahí a lo loco, sin planear y sin nada. Hice unos camarones con mofongo, Cuando estoy tirando ajo, digo, mira, y le tiras ajo para allá, para ahí está. Mira, ¿y para qué fue? Me fui por ir para abajo y veo los views, los comentarios de las personas. Ahí me encuentro con Omi, nos conocimos en el mismo TikTok y nena, de momento esto explotó y yo digo, pero ¿y qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? O sea, yo en ningún momento tenía esto planeado. Y después otro día me da con tirar un mensajito de que mira, mi hermana, la vida es dura. Y la noche es oscura. ¿Para qué fue eso, mija? Se fue también, se fue viral. Y entonces, al yo ver que eso es lo que a la gente le gusta, que es lo que la gente disfruta, y vuelvo y te digo, los views, los comentarios, las oportunidades y las puertas que se me empezaron a abrir, yo digo, oh my God. Y lo mejor de todo fue que Dios me sorprendió, porque en este camino fue que empecé a descubrir muchas otras cosas y empezaron a llegar los propósitos y empecé yo a dejar la otra vieja vida que yo estaba llevando. Mientras hacía esto, me di cuenta que yo estaba haciendo un propósito nuevo, que Dios me estaba formando. Y entonces yo dije, déjame seguir por ahí para abajo. Y mira, hasta el día de hoy, nena, y esto es left and right, oportunidades donde quiera, y yo feliz como una lombriz, todo lo que a mí me gusta.
That's right. I feel it. La ingeniería que tú traes es fuerte, porque yo vi a uno de tus videos hoy and I was like, woo, you were just telling them about yourself, lo que tú aceptas y no aceptas, y claramente, y punto. I love it, I love it.
¿Sabes qué, Cristina? Gracias por tus palabras. ¿Sabes qué? Que siempre también se lo digo a Omi. Cuando yo empecé, pues empecé tirando videos hacia lo loco, sin maquillar, en bata, toda tirada, porque ¿qué sabía yo que iba a llegar tan lejos? Nena, entonces, como eso fue básicamente lo que a la gente le gustó, lo orgánico y ser como es Ibeliza, nena, me tiro como usted. Como yo sé, preguntar a Omi, como yo sé con el Vicks, con los moños, me tiro como estoy. Y como ya la gente sabe quién es Ibeliza, mira los pelos, ay Dios. Como ya la gente sabe, pues la gente mira, y tú sabes qué es lo más que me gusta, que viajo livianito. Y yo digo, yo prendo el teléfono y ya la gente me conoce que meto la pata. Digo una de cosas a veces que digo, ay, dije, ¿por qué? Y la gente encuentra que se va a callar.
Como una boricua típica, a nosotros no le importa.
Y gritando. Al principio, pregúntale a Omi, que yo a veces decía, Omi, pero la gente me critica. Porque yo gritaba. Entonces yo digo, pero yo no puedo dejar de gritar, porque es que esa soy yo. Entonces estoy haciendo a los demás, pero ¿qué pasó conmigo? El que me quiere se va a quedar por lo que yo soy. El que no me quiere va a chillar la goma por eso mismo, por lo que yo soy. Cuídate. Yo.
I love it. Omi, tú siempre estás cocinando, pero con like fuego, like your hair. I love your hair. Me recuerda de mi comadre que tiene el pelo grande también. I love watching you when you go out. What made you start doing these videos?
Thank you, Mommy. I started making the videos in the middle of the pandemic. Honestly, it was, I was bored at home like everybody else, en casa haciendo nada, y yo no veo mucha televisión. Puse mi teléfono y yo dije, me voy a grabar. Entonces yo soy maquillista profesional y yo estaba poniendo todos mis videos de cocina en my stories of my makeup page. Y bien rápido, I was like, wait a minute. Is my makeup page about to turn into a cooking page? That's not what I was trying to do. Wait a second. So I opened Cooking con Omi on Instagram, but you know, I kind of moved over to TikTok, and then TikTok became really fun. And then it just kind of went crazy on TikTok. Every week it seemed like I was growing 10,000 followers, and I kept telling my husband, I'm like, babe, what? I think I'm about to reach 20. Oh, I think I'm about to reach 50. And it was continually growing, and it was just me wanting to have fun. But like Ibeliza, I found purpose in it when people would tell me the stories of what my cooking was doing for them. And I love to cook. I grew up in a household full of women. I have 5 aunts who I grew up around, my grandmother who's an amazing cook, my mom, and that's all I saw. And that same energy that I have is literally what I grew up around in Puerto Rico. So that's my motivation. It's my inspiration.
I feel like that's all of us, ¿verdad? We were raised with strong Fierra Boricua grandmothers, madre, que cocinan en la cocina, and like they're in there bailando y cocinando. And I think that's what we all get it for. First, let me say this. Your hair is beautiful. So if you do the makeup and the hair, you got it going on, because I'm staring at you while you're talking like, Mira, your makeup is beautiful too. So as another woman, I give you that. But you're cooking, you're the bomb. I love it. I watch it. I'm entertained by it. And I think this is amazing. So what's next for you? I know TikTok made you jump, but is this something that you foresee yourself doing bigger? You know, social media can blow a person up. I mean, some of our actors have grown from that.
Absolutely. It has turned into a full-blown business.
Awesome.
I'm a little bit nervous for 2021 with my makeup studio. I'm still a makeup artist. I still have, my wonderful clients who have hired me for their weddings, quinceañeras, special events, and I have contracts, right? But I feel that Cooking con Omi has kind of taken a huge bulk of my life. It's
absolutely
really bulk of my life. I do love doing both, but I get the feeling that I'm gonna have to park one to the side for a little bit so that I can continue with Cooking con Omi, because it is taking a life of its own.
That's awesome.
Let me tell you something. People are so happy that Omi y Belisa are with us. Un saludo. Yes. Another Ibelis, pero Evelis con E. Martina is a great friend to the show and contributor, is like fangirling on social media, incredible. And one of your primas, Mama Unique Cuisine, Manda Bendiciones. I don't know if she's somebody's titi here. So definitely, we love to have you guys on the show. She's funky. Why do you love these women so much? I mean, we all do, but
listen,
why are they so wonderful? They're so incredible, aren't they?
I am the luckiest person on tonight's show because I had the privilege and the honor to meet everybody. I met Omi in person. I met Ivelisa. I met Dean. You guys know I've been working with David for years. Pero mira, if it's one thing people have told me my whole life, where do you get all that energy from? How do you do so much? And then I met Ivelisa. Her energy level. Y eso que yo soy hyper, pero no, yo me quedo aquí y Evelisa llega. There's nobody like her, pero all it took was meeting her one day to see that the Evelisa you see on social media es la que that day we went from like having fun and filming to then we sat down and she was giving me some advice, empezamos a hablar de la vida, and then I got to see both sides. The hyper cooking loquita con su pasta porque hasta con la vacation también, and then the motivational speaker side of her dando consejos like a mom, like a tia. It was beautiful. And then Omi, I don't know what it is about Omi que like Ibelisa's hyper, so she gets me hype, pero Omi inspira una tranquilidad y una paciencia y una calma. I see that. And even though she's your sibling that has it all
together. The rest of us are in debt and have problems, and that's the one in the family that she's siempre solida. She's got it. She's taking care of it. Let me see, Evelisa. Yo tengo una pregunta. I have two questions for you. ¿Cómo mantenga su energía? You are the most energetic person. How do you keep this energy going? Right. ¿Qué es su secreto, Evelisa?
Pues mira, Rey, todo el mundo me pregunta lo mismo. Es que yo soy un bullying. Yo soy así,
es natural.
I don't know, desde chiquita siempre he sido así traviesa, inquieta, mala.
¿De qué parte de Puerto Rico es usted, Ibelisa? What part?
She's describing me.
De Corozal.
Oh, Corozal, wow. That's where my mother-in-law's from, Corozal.
Your mother-in-law es de Corozal?
Seguro. Albaladejo.
De Palmarejo era mi abuela. Oh my God, cualquiera dice.
Son casi familia, that's how it is. That's awesome. Sí. ¿Pero qué es su secreto, Ibelisa?
Pues mira, honestamente no sé, yo siempre he sido así desde pequeña, eléctrica, como siempre me decían, loquita, inquieta, pero siempre estaba como, que ya la gente que me sigue en las redes, siempre estaba como un vacío y como un ay Dios, tú sabes, como una inconformidad, pero ahora que me ha salido todo esto y que me ha llegado un propósito en la vida, ahora estoy más culeca, ahora estoy como, ahora la energía es una energía de felicidad, de alegría, de seguir dándole a la gente. Y entonces como veo que a la gente le gusta, que la gente está así como que, pues yo digo, no, espérate, yo tengo que mantenerlos porque se me caen. Y paso mis momentos como todo el mundo, yo tengo mis días, pero es tan raro. Y soy media malcriada, así como tú me ves, como que salgo de atrás para adelante, pero he aprendido, pues ¿por qué? Porque yo sé quién yo soy y ya he aprendido a que mientras tú tienes que estar cómodo dentro de tus incomodidades. Exacto. Y eso es lo que me está ayudando ahora a no ser una malcriada, a no dejarme llevar por los impulsos, tú sabes, cuando alguien me tira veneno, yo digo, este me está tirando veneno porque eso es lo que él tira adentro. Y como yo no tengo eso, yo no me lo voy a tragar. Se lo va a tragar es para atrás. Right. Entonces, como que esta alegría, pues Dios me la deja. Pues dice, déjame dejarla así inquieta para que alegre a los demás porque necesitamos a alguien así. Pues entonces creo que me escogió a mí.
Let me think, I have a question for Homie, but this is such an incredible conversation. We're going to bring the rest of the crew back in a second. Evelisa, one of my missions in life is to find the most Puerto Rican person in the world. Because we're all so proud, pero la persona que, I'd say you're on the top of the list right now, Evelisa, pero eso refrán, I mean, it takes me back in the days going to the camp, visit my family or Locoy in the campo, esa manera de hablar. Homie, I have a question for you. One of the reasons people give you so much props is they're like, Omi comes up with some great dishes, and she, we're all trying to figure out how to make these good meals for our families fast because we don't have time.
Yes.
So what is your secret, Omi? Because you make these in a whole TikTok, 60 seconds, you come up with you teach us how to make a whole meal, which seems impossible. So tell us your secret. How do you develop not only the ingredient, the recipes, but the style to present in a way that we can figure it out real quick?
I like I told you, I grew up with all these women, and my mom, Evelisa met my mom, and she's like this in the kitchen. There's this, if you look back, you're too late. The meal's already done. And I have a big family. Aquí somos 6 en la casa. Y yo no tengo tiempo. A mí literalmente el tiempo no me da durante el día. So yo cuando estoy cocinando, I have to think on my toes, and I have to be quick. Sometimes que si uno tiene que salir, el otro tiene que ir para allá, el otro tiene hambre. You already know. And it's all men in my house, by the way. Son 5 hombres y yo soy la única hembra. So you can imagine, I have to be quick on my feet. And so that's where it comes from, really. And how to simplify life. How to simplify these recipes. Porque yo siento que a veces las recetas, especialmente esas recetas que nos tocan el alma, que son puertorriqueñas de verdad, esas recetas las hacen ver como que son tan difíciles, yo nunca voy a aprender eso. And like, why? No, let's simplify life. Let's make it a little bit easier. Vamos a hacerlo un poquito más fácil, vamos a hacerlo un poquito al estilo, porque en tu cocina tú mandas. So that's where it comes from, really.
What a wonderful message. I'm going to bring Dean back in this conversation. Dean, I know you give love to these ladies, man. Tell us what they bring to the table, man. It means a lot to us.
They bring me life. They bring me life. Is that even a question? Oof, my God. Oh my God. They bring me hunger too, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, I need to get these recipes. I need to stop by to go back to Rhode Island. I need to go back to Orlando. I'm gonna take a quick visit to see them really soon. And just to connect with y'all overall. But the place that I be seeing thrown down and the vibes and the personality, I'm just like, oh my God, like I need this in my life more. I'm living in Santurce right now, so I'm just like, I might, even though I left New York, I'm like, I might have to take a quick trip back to get a plato bien boricua. So that's where I'm at mentally. And I love you both. I love you, Melissa. I love Omi. Hi guys. Hi, nice to see y'all.
So I'm gonna step off the stage. I'm gonna bring the social media all stars and Funky. I just want y'all to talk to each other and let's have a good time. So let's get Jersey and Funky into the conversation here. Let's get Funky back on. Funky, you're in charge now. So me and Christina are going to take a break. I want people to enjoy this moment with all of you on stage together. So sigue con la conversación.
All right, awesome. Listen, you know what? I love it that he called us the Boricua comedian, like social media fania. This is so beautiful.
Mira, nosotros somos los Avengers. Olvídate de eso, los Avengers.
I said, oh my God.
I love it. You know what would be so unbelievably fantastic? You know who we're missing? We're missing Edison. That's the only one that we're
I
missing.
know.
Mejor que todos nosotros porque él anda en Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's why he's not here right now. Pero mira, he's here in spirit. This is his hat. That's why I wore it. He's here in spirit. Pero how amazing would it be if we all had the opportunity to get together? But like I say,
I think like 4 out of 5 of us are all in Florida right now. I think somebody needs to come down. I'm not gonna say no names, but
Exactly.
I just found out Dean was in Miami yesterday. He goes, "Oh, hey, I'm in Miami, pero me voy mañana."
Yeah.
Puño ahí en la cara para que respete.
Last minute trip. I'll be back in Puerto Rico tomorrow. So if y'all want to come visit El Calentón, you know where I'll be at. So
one of the things that I love about this is the fact that we didn't know this and we didn't plan this, but yes, somehow we formed an amazing Puerto Rican community amongst each other.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful thing to see that we're not in competition. We are not trying to step on each other's toes. We're not trying to, be outside of ourselves other than just being us and supporting one another. And the fact that we're doing that, and some of us have never met in person, but we were doing it before that.
Right.
That's beautiful, and that's what we need to see more of. Una mano ayuda a la otra, and that's what we've done.
Exacto.
Amén.
Es como un equipo de baloncesto. Si tú puedes jugar solo, sí, está bien, pero el equipo se trata de estar todos juntos. Uno en la vida puede caminar solo, claro que sí, pero cuando tú caminas con alguien de la mano, avanzan más, llegan más lejos. Entonces, Omi me enseñó algo que siempre que hablo con ella lo menciono. Es como cuando tú vas a un supermercado y te paras como Omi en un aisle, ¿verdad? Y ahí están todos los productos. Entonces tú vas a decir, déjame ver, este está caro, este huele feo, este apesta, whatever, cualquier cosa que sea. Entonces la persona, de acuerdo a sus gustos y sus necesidades, va a escoger de todos los productos que hay, va a escoger cuál es el más que le convenga. Eso mismo pasa con nosotros. Las redes sociales está, y más ahora, hay tanta gente tratando de ser influencers. Y nosotros, para la gracia de Dios, mira, se nos han abierto puertas y nos ha salido todo bien. Pero yo pienso porque es que hemos persistido, hemos sido orgánicos, somos naturales y sobre todo lo que empezaron a hablar, ya estamos en competencia. Cuando tú estás en competencia, créeme, el creador te va abriendo los caminos solitos. Las bendiciones se pegan solas.
Amén.
I think of us like a whole paella. We got the rice, we got the beans. We always bring in something different to the table. We all come from the same plate all together. A plato bien boricua, whether it's mofongo or whatever, some pastelillo. We always got something different ingredients, but it's still all the same dish all together because I do my thing, you guys do your things, and we're all representing the same people. We're all representing our community, and we always move forward together. That's all. I just love that about this conversation.
I love the way you said that. I love it, you guys. It's amazing to see so many talented people, but it's even more amazing when it's all Boricua. It gives you a crazy orgullo. Damn, we doing it. So I give you all 2 snaps because you are amazing. And I think together as a community como Boricua, we need to continue to do this, working together to build a better, so everyone can see what we're really made of.
Right. This is such a beautiful moment. So we're gonna in a second we're gonna put Funky on the spot and let everybody get a chance to say their final messages to their fans. This has been just an awesome experience. The Instagram Live is blowing up. And you're going to see all these clips on all their social media handles over the weekend. This has just been, I think, historic, to be honest with you. I mean, I think people will look back on this because y'all are destined for bigger and better things.
Yes.
And just tremendous, when we started Bomba Live, look, we could do this and just talk jokes and have singers and entertainers. But when me and Christina put this together, we said, we don't just want to celebrate Puerto Rican talent. We got plenty of talent. But we want to celebrate the character of our community.
Yes.
And what we're seeing here, we crack jokes, and occasionally we get a little fresh with our lengua and all that. But it's all about being positive and giving good energy to people and supporting each other. So this is so wonderful. So we wanted y'all on this very special episode because me and Christina have a very special announcement. We're actually going to ask Funky on the spot to help us with this. But Christina and I have, Bomba Live started in last June, with a 10.5-hour special.
Yes.
And so Christina and I are here to announce that the second annual Bomba Live, the all-day spectacular, is going to highlight Puerto Rican character. 10 hours of this kind of content is going to take place June of 2021. And all of you are invited to be a part of it, but we're asking Funky Bacalao if she would be the producer for the social media all-star segment on
wow.
Bomba Live show. So Funky, you down to be a part of this? Christina,
Yes.
this wouldn't have happened without you. So I just want to give Christina a chance to share her thoughts about, it's one thing to do it every week, and this is a great episode, but what we did last June was so special, historic, bringing Puerto Ricans from all over the world together for all-day celebration to raise awareness around community issues and to just celebrate who we are. So Christina, just want to get your thoughts about this historic announcement.
I think that it's amazing. I think that when we came together last year, we had no idea that it would turn into what it turned into. Ralph always has crazy out of the box ideas that he thinks about, and then he says, "Let's do it." And I'm always been there like, "Okay, let's do it." And we literally only had a few weeks, and we threw it together. And Ivelisse was a part of the first one, and it was amazing. And I'm just super excited. I mean, listen, let me tell you, we planned this thing, and I'll tell you while we planned it, I was stuck in a bedroom with COVID-19. So we did this thing, like we were really into it and we were focused and we were like, look, we need to do this. And I think that this year is going to be even more amazing because not only did we have just learning about our culture and phenomenal people and just great comedians and singers and different artists, but we learned about our cultural in so many different ways. Like people were in Puerto Rico, people were in New York, in Florida, like they were all over the world just on one screen. So tonight is just a little dash of what that day was. And I'm definitely looking forward to 2021 because I know that it's going to be even more amazing. And with you guys now, so we just continue to expand our content and our Boricua. So it's just amazing, everyone.
So Funky, you got 4 months? Come up with something. I know, but this...
No importa, ya no te van a ver, solamente te van a ver esto.
Y Belisa, ¿qué quiere ver el espectacular de Bomba Live? ¿Qué quiere ver? What do you want to do? Talk to me. ¿Qué es su ideas? To do something.
A mí me gustaría...
No boricua, pero bien boricua como usted.
Bien boricua. Mira, en verdad yo quisiera que tú pusieras aquí mucho sabor. Que tú le pongas aquí, que tú le metas caña de verdad.
Tenemos sabor, tú quieres más.
Sí, exacto. Ya ustedes tienen sabor. Pues este nombre de Bomba Live suena bien como de salsa. Métele ahí a la salsa.
Seguro. Bueno, había creador del año pasado y vamos a tener mucha salsa también. Nosotros somos salseros.
That's right.
Mira, a mí me encanta. ¿Y sabes qué?
That's your girl.
Y le pueden meter, ya que aquí que la cocinera, ajo y habichuela, país.
Seguro, un saludo. El primero cocinero en Bomba Live era el chef Gregorio, Sabor with Love. He's also part of the fam. Yeah. So I want to give Gregorio his love as well. So yeah, we need to have a whole cooking. Oh my God, that's going to be a whole.
Yeah, Omi now. Let me tell you, the men are going to be glued to the screen like this.
Jersey Rican, we need to get that Newark flavor up in here too for next.
No, yeah, for sure. Claro. I mean, I'm really happy and appreciative of joining this opportunity with you guys. I've met Dean before through TikTok, and then obviously you guys know the relationship que yo tengo con Funky. Y ahora pues tengo la oportunidad de conocer a estas dos bellezas aquí, Omi y Belisa, que nunca la conocí hasta ahora. I know Funky met her, well, both from when she went to Boston and Orlando, pero va a tener que tirarme para Orlando y para Boston para conocerla bien en persona.
Hello. Claro.
Y hacer unos videos juntos, aunque mira, no se rían, porque yo no sé cómo cocinar. So, a ver si ustedes me pueden enseñar a cocinar, hacemos un video juntos y ya.
No, es bueno,
y tú frega.
Sí, claro.
Obvio.
Mira que la mamá mía está viendo esto ahora mismo en la sala. She's watching it right now.
Pero eres bienvenido aquí en Orlando con Ivelisse. Quieren para acá y trabajamos, claro que sí.
Seguro.
Bien.
This is so wonderful. Yeah. So let's start wrapping this up because these people, time is money. So I want to make sure they can enjoy the rest of Thursday nights. But why don't we start with you? Just want to make sure all the All-Stars get a chance to say whatever they'd like to say and also promote whatever, your social media and any project you have. So why don't we start with you, Dean? Dean.
I would like to start off by saying thank you again. I'm very grateful to be here with y'all. Before I do go, I would love to say shout out to Barra Isleña. That's my roommate. He started his own business creating jugo natural. We have jugo de palcha, de China, donde sea. So if you guys want to go down to Puerto Rico and get some nice, natural, fresh juices, my roommate hooks it up. So check out Barra Isleña. That's all I had to say. Love you guys so much.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. You're the man, Dean. You and I are going to keep talking, brother. We got a lot to build on the political side. We need to have you back on one of our political panels and kick it with that.
That's right.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. So Omi, please, a few words from you.
Thank you so much for having me. Esto fue súper divertidísimo, me encantó. Gracias por darnos esta plataforma para nosotros poder no solamente hablar de los sucesos, pero hablar de nuestra comunidad puertorriqueña as a whole. Listen, I cannot wait for this 2021. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. So thank you again.
Jersey, give us some jewels, brother, as we wrap this up, man. It's been great to get to know you, and what a great episode.
Bueno, once again, I want to say thank you for the opportunity. It was a pleasure. Esto fue bien divertido. La gente que me conoce a mí saben que yo soy bien boricua, pero I'm not gonna lie. I kind of as I get older, I kind of tone it down, pero hacer esto ahora como que prendió otra vez, dude, you gotta do more Puerto Rican-based posts on your Instagram and TikTok. So esto fue como un wake-up call para representar a nuestra gente, nuestra patria, todo eso,
Beautiful.
We gotta repeat it. We gotta repeat it. Put our Puerto Rico, on top.
Absolutely.
Well, we have another moment. I've gone through those emotions too, and I've decided at this point in my life, I said, we have to go back to it, and we have to support it. I think Huracán Maria was like that crossroads for a lot of us. And when we have time, we'll have those conversations. But very well said, Jersey. Ivelisa, I mean, the floor is yours.
Dime cuánto tiempo tengo, porque yo me voy en 2 gomas rápido. Yo me calle.
I'm not telling you to shut up. So, siga adelante.
Yo me voy en 2 gomas, papá. A mí me encanta arrastrar la eje y decir cajo. Pero como la gente me critica, pues trato de no hacer. Y aquí estoy como que estoy colosal. Pues mira, mi gente, gracias nuevamente. O sea, la palabra gracias se queda corta. Les deseo todo el éxito del mundo en esta plataforma y gracias por haberme tomado en cuenta para traerme aquí. Y nada, me pueden conseguir en todas mis redes sociales, Ivelisa Riendo y Comiendo. Conmigo te vas a motivar, vas a cocinar cositas tecatas y rapiditas. Yo no soy como Omi, pero yo le someto al broco. Y crean en ustedes. Yo siempre digo que si ustedes son de estas personas que dicen que son ven para creer, párate frente al espejo, mi hermana. Mira la maravilla que tú eres, para que veas lo mucho que vale. Mira, vamos para abajo.
And if you've never seen Ivelisa's videos, check out her blooper reel. It's incredible. Just the first 10 seconds, that's all you need to know.
Sí, porque yo le digo,
seguro, la verdad.
La atención de la gente así. Yo, era, para ti. ¿Tú ves alguien más aquí? Para ti, mi hermana. Oye, la gente dice, no, tú me estás hablando a mí, esto es increíble. Y el que tiré hoy, yo dije, mamá, déjate de estar ignorándome, este mensaje es tuyo, ¿qué pasó? Entonces tú ves que la gente que se dejan de hacer lo que están haciendo, escuchar el mensajito que yo le tengo a mi hermana, porque ajá.
Gracias. You guys are such a gift. Funky, give us some final thoughts.
No, listen, all I'm thinking about is the positive energy we have here, the great karma. I think it was Ivelisa and Omi that both said that the beautiful thing about this group is that there's no competition. There's followers for everyone. There's views for everyone. There's opportunities for everyone. There's no reason to be greedy. There's no reason to not extend, your hand for somebody else. So I feel unbelievably blessed that I met these people in person. I think they're all fantastic. They all bring a lot to the table. They all make the Puerto Rican culture better. O sea, the thing we all have in common es que también we take Puerto Rico and we highlight the Boricua culture, you know, because on the other side, you got to keep in mind that there's a lot of negative connotations with us. So, sabe que ghetto, que sí, que esto, que lo otro. So, you know, I personally feel it's my responsibility to make Puerto Rico shine. You get what I mean? So, and everybody that you just saw today, you know, does the same thing too, in our own little way, con nuestro toquecito. And we're all special in our own ways. And nothing, listen, thank you for having me on the show again. I love you guys.
Thank you for being here.
Funky, you're the best. I hate to put you on the spot. You know, it's almost like those guys that propose like in front of everybody. It's like, she may not say yes. But, you know, Funky, you know, for real, we need you to, it will be great for you to kind of lead and figure out how do we like really, I mean, these are stars, and these are people that need to be doing this for a living. They're so talented, and they could be doing this take it to the next level, where it's the cooking, the comedy, the social conscious. And, you know, I think we can come up with something very creative to, you know, they need to shine. They shine like diamonds, you know what I mean? So that they deserve it. And look, but the followings they have, they get a lot of love for real. So they really impact people in such a positive way. So thank you for bringing them on. Christine, I know you're excited for Bomba Live in June.
I am, because I won't be sick this year.
It's awesome.
It was just amazing at the time, and we didn't think that we would. I mean, we knew we could do it because we could do it, but we were just concerned. Like, oh my goodness, so many people.
Wishes had given her a little more than 10 weeks, but yes,
we don't know if it's going to happen. If we'll have enough time to add every single person we have, and now we know. Listen, we did it, we done it, and we're going to do it even better.
It's going to be fantastic. So I just want to thank the whole crew for being on, and we had some technical glitches, so we're actually not going to end the show because we're going to end the show with some of the videos from Funky and the rest of the Boricua social media all-stars. And I just want to thank the entire group, Ivelisa, Omi, Dean, and Jersey Rican, and of course Funky Bacalao for being with us. This was such an incredible show. I know there's a lot of people out there that this gave them a lot of hope, a lot of spirit, put a smile on their face. And you know what? Like you said, Funky, so appropriate. We have so much negativity that's thrown at us from haters, from society, from colonization, from racism, from Trump and all this stuff. But you know what? We have so much to share, and that's why we built this platform to show the talent and character that we have, because we have a lot of perseverance as well. So Funky Bacalao, Christina, we'll keep going. Let's watch some of these hilarious videos as we wrap up the show, and we'll be back here next week on Bomba Live, the Valentine's Day edition. We're going to be talking love, romance, sex, all kind of crazy stuff. So enjoy the show. Thank you, familia.
Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye.
Oye, bienvenidos a un nuevo capítulo, a un nuevo cambio y futuro. Ya no el 45, ahora el 46, el 46, el 46. Ya no el 45, ahora el 46, el 46, el 46. Ya no el 45, ahora el 46, el 46, el 46. Ya no el 45, ahora el 46, el 46, el 46.
Hola mi gente, vamos a hacer hoy un jibarito bien rapidito. Ven para acá que te voy a enseñar. Aquí yo tengo como 2 libras de carne ranchera, poquito de limón. Tú puedes usar cualquier vinagre, este es de mi preferencia, rice vinegar, para allá. La cantidad de ajo que te diga tu corazón. Esto viene para acá. Un poquito de casada spices, adobo para allá. Machaca, machaca. Esto ahora viene para acá. ¡Guau! Ahora voy con casada spices sazón. Le vas a dar un buen masaje a esto. En tu sartén, aceite de oliva. Y vamos a freír nuestra carne. Lo vas a cocinar de 5 a 7 minutitos nada más, vuelta y vuelta. Coge tu plátano, lo vamos a esnuar, dale. Y lo vas a picar en mitad. Échalos a freír. Después de como 5 minutos los vas a sacar. Coge tu plátano y lo vamos a aplastar. ¡Hielo!
¡Omi!
¡Omi bacalao!
Este año Thanksgiving va a ser en mi casa y a mí me tocó el arroz con gandules. Tú sabes que lo mío es la comedia, no la cocina. ¿Tú me puedes enseñar, por favor?
Vas a coger tu caldero, le vas a dar la vuelta con el aceite una vez. Vas a coger la misma cuchara con la que se sirve el arroz vas a coger el sofrito y fuá para allá. Y vas a coger un puño de cilantro, fuá también.
Un puño de cilantro, ¿y eso cómo se mide?
Picas tus vegetales chiquitos.
Ay, no, yo sé mucha información.
Vas a lavar el arroz 3 veces.
3 veces. Ni yo me baño tanto. Pero no le vamos a echar adobo.
El adobo, la cantidad que te dé a tu corazón. Y después de ahí, menea que te menea. Es lo más fácil que hay, nena.
Claro, lo más fácil que hay.
Pues tú me dices, ok, está bien, bye.
Que se chave. Yo voy a ordenar Uber Eats.
¿Estás triste?
Sí.
¿Te terminó tu novio? ¿Te quieres morir?
Sí.
¡Déjala, pendejada, carajo!